Satire is a beautiful thing. I got a new tripod. It's working out pretty well. Some of you might already know where I stand with the Rock-afire Explosion fandom and making content. I think all of that has kind of changed for a bit. So I'm gonna explain. I'm not kidding. I have my script typed out. Although I took a speech class this summer, so I've kind of learned to not really sit and read off a paper. I pretty much studied the skill of memorizing information and just remembering the points I want to come across. So that's unrelated though. So I'm still not talking with much of the fandom right now. I'm only in 2 servers, and I will peek in here and there and see what's going on. And it's been happening a lot more recently. There's a lot that has been roping me back into the Rock-afire Explosion. Not just fandom-wise, but Rock-afire 3D. Work on that has been putting me in a Rock-afire mood. So I'm going to start talking about how the fandom recently just roped me back in. So my previous stance was that I wanted nothing to do with the Rock-afire fandom. I didn't even want to look into what was going on. Now I guess I just gave up on that. I just had to check in, and I think I missed the good bits of the fandom, and maybe I want to come back and find that. That didn't turn out so well. I'm not going to fully rope myself back in because I don't want it to be a vicious cycle of it consuming my day-to-day life. That's one of the problems that the Rock-afire fandom had for me. I don't want to be like Braylon and Billy Bob's Wonderland. I keep leaving and coming back and then leaving again. I don't think I want to say necessarily that I quit for good. I'm just in between. Now I will just tap in whenever I want to see what's happening. I'm not going to let it be such a huge part of my life like it used to. So the things I've seen feels like things are still going downhill a bit. I have no idea what's going on with Braylon and the Rock-afire Explosion or Billy Bob's Wonderland. I heard he quit again, but then I saw this video from October where I think it's Seth Streets and Eats went to Billy Bob's Wonderland, and he found Braylon there working on the show. I understand that Aaron moved out of his warehouse. That's pretty interesting. He sold the Jefferson building. And of course, he's doing his usual Aaron things. I saw that someone made a really cool 2-hour-long documentary on the Rock-afire Explosion. I watched it, and it was pretty cool. And then I saw that Aaron saw it and took it very personally. I just love how he thinks it's about his life story or whatever. Because, everything Rock-afire has to be completely about him, right? I've also been contacted by Aaron through an email, but not really directly. He sent it out to his former premium subscribers, begging them to come back. I'll put up some screenshots on the screen right now. You can pause and look at them. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I also understand that there's been some drama regarding Demonic Abyss. Now, everyone's all over the place about it, and it's crazy. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to go in depth about it. I'm only going to mention it, and that I know that it's going on. I just hope that everyone who is negatively affected are okay. I'm kind of upset about it myself. A lot of the Aaron stuff and Mafia stuff, I learned about that through Demonic Abyss. The reason that my views on Aaron have changed is because of Demonic Abyss kind of shedding light on the things Aaron does online. If you want any information on that, it's all in that 2-hour Rock-afire documentary. I'll link it in the description of this video. It's really cool. So yeah, I come back to the fandom and everything is still on fire. The best part about being on the fence is that when one side crumbles, you are kind of left unaffected. Because I never took sides, I just look at everything. I'm like, let it burn, I suppose. I've learned to ignore the grasp that the drama and fire of the fandom had on me. It kind of hindered my love for a simple animatronic band show. When I left the fandom, I actually stopped listening to Rock-afire music. I stopped listening to Rock-afire Explosion videos. It just phased out of my life. The fandom it really just ruined it for me. And not just the fandom, Aaron as well. Aaron, the Mafia, everything. Just everything. But I don't think it should have, really. I've changed since the time that I announced that I was just through with it all. I grew as a person, and my life outside the Rock-afire changed drastically. I feel older, I feel wiser, and I see things differently than probably give or take 2 years ago by now. I think this change in my involvement with the Rock-afire fandom could help promote Rock-afire 3D and its existence. I just want to step back through the door a little, put down some promotion, and just leave while everyone else battles about, I don't know, whether Aaron is a doofus or a saint, whether Demonic Abyss had it coming, or is there another story? And that's a new development. I'm still not sure what's going on there, so grain of salt. Whether the Mafia is still a bunch of creeps, or I have no idea what their deal is. Is Braylon actually back at Billy Bob's? I have no idea. It's never been confirmed to me. I haven't talked to him in so long. Like, my friendship with Braylon is a gray area. Because, like, he's on one side and I'm on another. And I feel like there are association problems with that. Even though I'm on the fence about everything. Like, he's Mafia and I have different opinions about those people. And I just don't want conflict or drama. It's so hard to avoid in this fandom. So I formed my own opinions, and I fear to state them because I know someone's bound to have a problem with me about them. And they're opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Everything is still so complicated with the fandom, and I think I just want to be here to create what I promised I'd do, and just leave it at that. So, which is that since I got 1,000 plus subs, I'm creating Rock-afire 3D. My stance on Rock-afire content, it stays the same as before. I prefer to make original content. And I want to focus on that because it's not as recognized as my Rock-afire content. I'm being more lenient though, as of recently, and I'm providing a lot of progress on the creation of Rock-afire 3D. Like, I'm still willing to make Rock-afire content. I'm actually excited about Rock-afire 3D. Like, I want to make sure there's a good balance between my original content and Rock-afire content, but I'm actually getting excited about Rock-afire content because it's been a while. Rock-afire 3D is a huge project, and it's coming along well so far. Rock-afire 3D is a love letter to Rock-afire Animated. It's a love letter to the Rock-afire Explosion, and I cherish that deeply. And maybe there was a time where I hated Rock-afire Animated, but it got me big online. It got me an online presence. And I gotta remain thankful to that. I gotta remain thankful to everyone who actually enjoys it. Even if there's this whole battle between getting my original content to be as seen as the Rock-afire content, like, I'm still thankful for the views and attention that I get. I don't want to reverse what I wished to do in the first place when I said I'd stop making Rock-afire content. I'm still going to make sure that my original content is as prominent, even if it feels like, a lot of Rock-afire content is coming in through the cracks. That's because I'm excited about the project. but I'm still gonna find a good balance. I mean, I'm doing the animated November, albeit I'm missing a few days. Of course, I'm not gonna, when I commit to something daily, there's always gonna be gaps, and it wasn't really like a strict thing. I just did that as a challenge to myself. Rock-afire 3D is gonna be a one and done deal, by the way. I can't say this will be the actual final ever Rock-afire thing on my channel, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to be like, I'm done forever, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I want to make this. You know, I feel like I'm already coming across as a hypocrite in certain areas with that whole thing, and I don't want to be indefinite about it. I want it to come across as it's not permanent. It's just gonna be here, and then nothing else will come about it for a very long time. After Rock-afire 3D is out, that's just gonna be it on Rock-afire Animations. Maybe I'll make another deal. Maybe if I get to like 10,000 subscribers, I'll do something new. Who knows? I'm gonna make sure that anything extra, because I have ideas, it's gonna be saved for before the film comes out. Like the progress videos. I consider that all extra. I just want the progress videos. There's a lot of them because I'm hyping myself up about this, and I want to hype others about it too. I might make like one-off animations with my character models, progress videos, stream content, maybe even Rock-afire replay. Those could come back. I'm not gonna promise on it, but I've been coming back to the game. I missed it. I turned on Rock-afire replay, and I fiddled around with it, and just I got so nostalgic. The only thing that I will say is possible after the Rock-afire film is a couple things. My Lego Horizons project streams, because I'm gonna come back to those eventually. They're gonna count towards my Lego Friday streams. I think I made a deal about those being the ones that feature me making Rock-afire brickheads at the ends of those streams, because I always wanted to design my own. I am sure it's already out there somewhere. I'm sure someone's already made Lego Rock-afire brickheads, but I'm gonna make my own designs. And I had this Empty Creations Creates video that I was working on, but like stopped for a bit. It was Rock-afire related. So I'm gonna come back to that eventually. I think my skills just aren't completely there yet, or weren't there yet. But now that I've learned some new things since then, I can probably go back to that. It was some like issues with the models that I was making. They were just like, I 3D printed them, and they just weren't turning out right. But when it comes to Rock-afire animations, they're gonna be a bit limited. So anyone looking forward to those, you might get lucky. It'll probably be like a few things, maybe a whole batch of videos, and then when Rock-afire 3D comes out, that's it. I'm gonna move on to other things. I already got other projects planned. I already know what I'm doing next, and it's this big exciting thing. It's my own original idea, and I'm just stoked about it. I'm so excited. I'll reveal more later, because I want to focus on Rock-afire 3D first. I want to take it one thing at a time. I really hope you can look into checking out my original content, along with Rock-afire content. Talking about this really helps. I had a lot to get off my chest about all of this. I think I remember saying one thing, and then something different happens, and I just want to be clear about what's happening. I still really hope people will look into checking out my original content as well as my Rock-afire content. I love both to some extent, but I feel like I prefer to put more heart and effort into my original content, and I just wish it was as seen as my Rock-afire content was. One more thing before I end the video. I asked this in my community tab, but I wanted to ask about it here as well. If you have any questions about Rock-afire 3D that you need answered, because I remember I was working on it on the project in a stream recently, and I got a lot of questions about it. If you have any questions that need answered, I'm gonna make a teaser video for Rock-afire 3D, and it'll answer things regarding the project. That way you know what to expect. You'll have information on whatever you're curious about, and you have something to look forward to. Other than, the seeing the progress videos. I hope those are getting people excited. I won't answer in the comments though, but I will drop a heart on your comment so you know that it's gonna be answered. Hint, by the way, I'm considering maybe getting some voice actors, musicians maybe, too. Ask about it. See, all this, Rock-afire 3D, it's all because you guys got me to 1,000 plus subs. I'm like, what, at 1,050 already by now? I am forever grateful and thankful. Thank you so much for your support on MT Creations, especially if you enjoy my non-Rock-afire content. Like, I mean, I'm grateful for everyone who gives me support for whatever I make. I cannot thank you guys enough. It is awesome that my favorite hobby of being a YouTuber is this big. And all I can say is thank you. Of course, I'm going to be posting more Rock-afire 3D stuff. I've been making good progress on it. I love showing it off, and I cannot wait to start making teasers and start working on the actual film and getting things voiced and stuff. So that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna say stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and see you.